One of my favorite shows currently on TV is HBO's Succession. It follows the power struggles and family dynamics of the Roy family, a clan of dysfunctional billionaires. The core of the show is the competition over who will succeed the aging patriarch Logan as head of the company. Succession walks a fine line between black comedy and drama. It comes across like a fusion of Veep and Game of Thrones, which makes sense because Succession is directed mostly by Mark Mylod, who worked on Game of Thrones, and Succession is written by Jesse Armstrong, who has a background in working on TV comedies like Peep Show and Veep. Succession is also executive produced by Adam McKay, who worked on SNL for years, and has more recently made a name for himself by directing political comedy dramas like Vice and The Big Short. In particular, his influence can be seen in the show's handheld, documentary-style cinematography. As a result, Succession feels like an explosive combination of all these different influences, and its capacity to veer from comedy to drama to tragedy is nowhere more on display than the Season 2 finale. It's a roller coaster ride of an episode, which many fans view as the show's best. In this video, I want to take a look at the clever ways the show's writing builds tension and plants clues as to what will happen. After all, Succession is a show constructed almost entirely out of dialogue. The writing in the Season 2 finale works so well because it provides a satisfying arc for Kendall. In many ways, episode 10 is a mirror image of the first episode. Both episodes center around Kendall appearing on TV on his father's behalf, but beyond that, these two appearances could not be more different. In the first, Kendall is a submissive dog parroting words his father wants him to say, but in the finale, he appears before the press to denounce his father. Season 2, Episode 10 is littered with clues which foreshadow this twist ending. For example, the shot of Kendall floating in the pool on the yacht is exactly the same as the opening shot of Season 2, which shows Kendall submerged in water, almost appearing decapitated. It implies that Kendall's head was on the chopping block ever since the fatal car crash in Season 1. The next big clue comes when Logan's eldest son, Connor, jokingly offers himself up as the sacrifice. He suggests that he was an eminence grise this whole time, a manipulator directing criminal activities from behind the scenes. The line reads like a joke because Connor couldn't manipulate his own left foot, evident in his misguided bid to become president of the United States. But his line is also a hint as to what is to come, because the real eminence grise is Logan, something that Kendall will reveal in the press conference later. Now I want to take a look at the episode's final scenes, particularly the climactic conversation between Kendall and Logan. These scenes are filled with biblical imagery, especially a Last Supper and Kendall's Judas kiss. More than that, the dialogue between Kendall and Logan is exceptionally well constructed, to the point where each sentence is loaded with meaning. For example, the scene pivots around Logan telling Kendall that he's not a killer. This is an amazing line. On the one hand, it sets up Kendall's betrayal perfectly, because by stabbing his father in the back, Kendall proves that he does have what it takes to be a killer businessman. But the line is also true in the sense that Kendall literally is a killer, having caused the death of the waiter Andrew Dobbs in the Season 1 finale. This death hangs over Kendall for the whole of Season 2. Jesse Armstrong has said that Crime and Punishment was a significant influence on Season 2 of Succession. In that novel, the main character gets away with murder and is haunted by guilt. In a similar way, Kendall is reduced to being a broken robot who follows his father's orders, no matter what, even if that means gutting his baby, Volta. His guilt also expresses itself in his acts of petty theft. Kendall wants to be caught and punished. He admits this himself at first when Logan asks him to be the sacrifice. The trauma of that event has also robbed Kendall of his sense of purpose, leaving him totally dependent on Logan. Kendall himself admits this to Shiv in a heartfelt scene midway through Season 2.
If Dad didn't need me right now, I don't exactly know what I would be for.
It's this guilt over the waiter's death that Logan is exploiting by sending Kendall to be the sacrifice. For a moment it seems like it might just work, but then Logan reveals his true colors when he says,
"No real person involved."
This line is the trigger for Kendall's switch. It's an admission of guilt by Logan, acknowledgement that he was aware of the crimes and cover-ups at Waystar. It's at this moment characters are concerned with their power squabbles, real people have to pay the price for their amorality. It's a reminder of one of Succession's key themes, which is that money and power have a corrupting influence. The episode then ends with a cryptic smile from Logan. Is he plotting his next move? Is there a secret that the audience doesn't yet know, like that Logan and Kendall have plotted this thing together? Or is Logan pleased because, by sacrificing his father, Kendall has proven himself to be a worthy successor? I guess we'll have to wait for Season 3 to find out.